People, we just saw the best SmackDown episode of 2024.
I think you love me.
I think we all do. What I loved about this episode so much is how real it felt. Let me explain. Angles like this, right? Kevin was hitting a pile driver on Randy Orton, and the commentators actually acknowledging the fact that this move is banned. WWE showed a replay and Corey Graves said, "Why are you showing this? This is disgusting." Also, when Tommaso Ciampa went absolutely nuts on his opponent, during that call was advertising the piss. Corey said, "I know we're doing business, but look what's happening in the ring." How do I put this? It felt like we're watching the product with them instead of them sounding like robots while promoting the product. I absolutely loved this episode. It had this sense of urgency. So many things were happening. Stories were progressing. Just absolute chaos. It felt different than the regular WWE product structure. Even though I hate this word, but the whole Bloodline storyline is still cinema. WWE, instead of doing something very basic with Roman Reigns and him being like, "Yes, I need help, I like all of you," he's still not a completely changed man. We're building this kinda slowly, but what we did learn is that yes, the Bloodline is back and we are getting war games. We also got shades of the OG Sami Zayn being hilarious. I'm so ready for this, man. This was peak SmackDown, peak modern SmackDown. And we're back in the good old days, and I'm so excited. So people, let's talk about SmackDown. But I want to start by talking about the sponsor of today's video, Wrestling GM, the best wrestling simulation game out there, where you can fantasy book any real-life situation or match within the game. For example, we all love Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, so in Wrestling GM, you can actually recreate that. Or you can pick a star and make sure he becomes the next Stone Cold Steve Austin of your universe. You see, in Wrestling GM, you can create your own universe. You can create your own company, wrestlers, championships, and even in-depth characters like managers and commentators. One of the best things about Wrestling GM is that you can upload custom photos and avatars to recreate real life superstars, and you can even give them custom backstories. So pretty much you can have real wrestlers in Wrestling GM. And as you guys know, being a GM is all about competition. So in Wrestling GM, you compete against AI companies in a viewership war to see who puts on the best show for the fans. People, Wrestling GM is available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, so make sure to download the game right now by using the link in the description below. Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing? Like, subscribe if you already didn't for more content like this, and let's jump into SmackDown. The show kicks off with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Before Roman could say anything, we see Jay. Jay calls out Sami and tells Roman, listen to what he has to say. And Sami Zayn talked about how it felt like the good old days, but he only helped them because of Jay Uso. What he wants from Roman Reigns is an apology. This was actually a very good promo, by the way. And Roman said, whoa. Let me get this straight. You want me to apologize to you? These were Sami's conditions. If you apologize, he will be in the Bloodline. He will join them in this, civil war, whatever. Sami said, no, I want you to apologize to Jay Uso. And Roman Reigns actually almost apologized. He said, sorry, I'm sorry we have to deal with all of this. He talked about how Sami Zayn is not family, he's no honorary Us, he has nothing to do with this family, he wants nothing to do with Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn leaves the ring. We saw Jacob Fatu on the Titantron. He cut a decent promo. He has the intensity and says, you will acknowledge Solo Sikoa. But what a segment, man. Again, I like the story we're seeing, but also Sami Zayn is so entertaining on this microphone. He talked about the past of the Bloodline, and he talked about how hate is not the opposite of love. The opposite of love is indifference, and he can see it. Roman Reigns loves him. Very good stuff, man. Very good stuff. Then Jay stops Roman backstage. I asked you to do one thing, just hear him out, but you didn't. If you love him so much, why don't you go and find him? Jay says, I told you. This is your last chance, don't talk to me like that. What surprised me about this episode of SmackDown is that we got so much story progression that WWE would typically give you in like 4 weeks. Like, all of these segments happened on one show and so much changed. And sometimes that could be too much, but I love it. That's exactly what SmackDown's been missing. But for the past few weeks, ever since, Roman came back, it is getting better. And this show was definitely better than Raw, which is rare nowadays. The OG Tommaso Ciampa is back. Johnny was friendly with the tag team champions, and Tommaso says, these are our titles, what are you doing? We need to get them back no matter what. So when we saw DIY versus Pretty Deadly, he was not playing around. He didn't even tag Johnny and Gargano. He just beat the shit out of them and won the match. OG Tommaso Ciampa. Especially like if you are a fan of the Gold and Black NXT, I can already tell you're very excited about this. I don't feel like this is leading to a breakup. I feel like it's leading to them turning heel, which is a great idea in my opinion. Now, if we only change the theme song, that would be great too. Randy was not playing around. He storms to the ring and calls out Kevin Owens. He said, I'm gonna end this shit right now. So bring your ass here so I can kick it. My man swore on television. Another highlight. We also got a few solo chants, which were blurred kinda later, but still. I don't know what it was about this episode, but people, am I exaggerating? This was an absolute banger. So we do see Kevin Owens, Kevin is right, and they start fighting again. What's so different about this storyline is that these fights, for whatever reason, feel a bit more real. And you know what I mean. They don't look like real fights, but the intensity, the involvement of WWE officials makes it look like it's not supposed to happen. And of course, Kevin Owens hit Randy Orton with a piledriver, which is a banned move in the WWE for obvious reasons. The last time we saw this move in WWE, I believe, was when CM Punk did it to John Cena in like 2013. So this is kinda crazy. Obviously, you can tell Kevin Owens really protected Randy Orton, mad respect. But the way the move looks doesn't really matter right here. It's all about the story, what he did. So Kevin Owens broke WWE's rules. So the repercussions are gonna be absolutely insane, I believe. We might get an angle where Kevin Owens might get suspended, fired, whatever the case may be. And this works so well for Kevin Owens' character. He's crazy, he lost his mind, but he believes he's right. But WWE sold it really well. Randy Orton is taken to the hospital. We got updates. Every single week, this storyline gets more and more personal. And there's a reason why Triple H warned Randy Orton. There's a reason why he, built Kevin Owens like he's the second coming of Brock Lesnar. Now it makes sense. Triple H was right. Kevin Owens is dangerous not because he's the strongest guy, but he's not afraid to cross that line. We got Candice LeRae versus Bayley. This is actually a pretty decent match. We're seeing a lot of Candice on television, and I find it so weird how Indy got fired even though she was a part of the storyline. Whatever the case may be, she faked an injury, but Bayley still won the match. The story is Candice is trying to be a better partner for Nia than Tiffany is. So there's this jealousy, there's this fight over Nia Jax. All these years I'm trying to avoid Nia Jax, and they're fighting over her. Wow! We also got Nia and Tiffany versus the WWE Women's Tag Champs. Again, Candice trying to help Nia. Tiffany didn't appreciate that. We got Naomi and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions won the match. Another story WWE are telling is that, Tiffany wants WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Nia says, I already ruled the women's division, but eventually what's gonna happen is I believe Candice will be with Nia, and that's how Tiffany will cash in. Eventually she will be betrayed. Or maybe it's gonna be a full faction. We don't know. We got A-Town Down Under versus Motor City Machine Guns. Key question of this match was, are they really that good, or did they just get lucky when they won the WWE Tag Team title? So the match was really fun. Obviously, I have my problems with A-Town Down Under, Over and Beyond, but the match was good and the WWE Tag Team Champions won, right? My problem is that WWE told the story of Austin Theory finally turning, he's getting used by Grayson Waller, and I believe I did read reports of WWE basically, feeling like we are not gonna turn him face unless we have something big for him. So if that's really the case, I'm okay with that. I believe that's the way you should book this. But at the end of the day, I'm kinda ready. I feel like Austin Theory is really underrated. The Street Profits are getting WWE Tag Team Championship opportunity. Tommaso Ciampa is not very pleased with that. Again, the heel turn is coming. Time for the acknowledgement ceremony. So we see the Bloodline, Roman Reigns comes out, and they finally talked about War Games, because Roman wants a match against Solo, but Solo said something about War Games. But look, there's 4 of us, and you're a tribal chief with no tribe. Roman also said you need 5 members, and I see 4 of you. Solo says Sami Zayn is with us. So we see Sami Zayn, the Usos run to the ring to help Roman Reigns, but Sami is just standing. So we were possibly seeing another plot twist. Now, obviously we knew what's gonna happen, but it works for the story. At the end of the day, Sami Zayn was rejected by Roman Reigns. Eventually, Solo Sikoa calls out Sami to hit Roman Reigns in the face, but he hits Solo instead. So the Bloodline take care of the fake-ass Bloodline. The Usos put their fingers up. Sami does, which means a lot. He's in, right? The only question left, is Roman a part of this? And he is. That's how SmackDown ended. The OG Bloodline is officially back, so I expect so many funny moments, so many interesting interaction segments. This is gonna be absolutely wild. People, I kinda felt this WrestleMania season vibe from this show. Because a lot of times, like, especially me, I'm making reviews, right? And it kind of becomes a part of a job. You just watch a SmackDown, talk about it. A lot of times it's just a bunch of B-level pay-per-view material, but this felt big. This felt really, really big. Survivor Series feels great again. And that was your SmackDown. What's also interesting is that Survivor Series is supposed to be 5 versus 5. Now we have 4 versus 4. Is The Rock gonna be on Team Bloodline, the fake-ass Bloodline? I don't see that happening, honestly. But that makes the most sense. And who's gonna be part of Roman's team? We don't have anybody left, really. Maybe a new member. Maybe, who else? Cody possibly? But I feel like WWE don't really want to involve Cody in this. People will see what happens. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, the Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.